Hello everyone, Devil Jinx here with RWBY Ice Queendom episode 4, funnily enough, also titled Ice Queendom. So the first two episodes, I still stand by my opinion. I thought the first one was really good, second one was pretty good, and the third one, pacing issues kind of got on my nerves quite a bit. Like, for those that have seen RWBY before, like volumes, or the volume 1, I think they would be able to, pick up what's going on, be like, oh, I remember that. Yeah, that was cool too, and all that other stuff. But if somebody is just now getting into RWBY, let's say, in Japan or what have you, they're going to be confused as fuck. And I think that was a problem that I had with episode 3 is that the jumping around, the pacing, the editing just wasn't up to snuff with me. I've also got some other shit I got to do. I've got uh, Devil's Part-Timer to record. I've got Classroom of the Elite to record, and then I've got, or I'm gonna drag in a third one. It's Comey. I think her name's Comey, and it's Comey Can't Communicate. So I'm gonna react to that if sometime either today or tomorrow. Probably after I take a shower because I don't know. I smell like ass. I just thought I'd get one of these done before I take a shower, get my dinner prepped, and all that jazz. So here we are, and by the way, I cannot pay them overtime, so we're going to keep this short and sweet and to the point. That is, I mean, if there's a lot to discuss about this episode, don't mind me moving that there, then I'll get into it. Yeah, Ice Queendom so far has left a really positive impression with me. Um, Even in spite of the pacing issues that I had with episode 3, but that's also an interchangeable perspective I have because as somebody that has seen RWBY, it doesn't bother me quite as much as it would if I were somebody jumping into RWBY for the first time. Anyways, without further ado, let us hop in. I did skip over the intro. I'll probably be doing that for the remainder of I think it's going to be 12 episodes. I hope they do a season 2. I kind of want them to get a season 2 done. I know it's meant to be not a multiverse thing. It's meant to be a. They say it's not an alternate universe, but it's a fucking alternate universe. I don't know why they do this stupid linguistic BS with it. It's an alternate universe. It's an alternate storyline. Like, just say it. Just don't overcomplicate it and confuse the fuck out of everybody. Anyways, let's go on. Alright, RWBY snowboarding. I could never fucking try snowboarding. Oh, wait, demonetized. Whoops. The hell is that? That's what I'm saying, RWBY. Stop. That way. No right turns. That's a bunch of road signs. That's just like Weiss. Just like what? I guess it is kind of like her symbol. Representing best girl in the show, in my opinion. What the fuck? Might they just skip? No, it didn't. What the hell? RWBY calling in the nukes from the president's office? Except not in the president's office? Oh, wait, I'm an idiot. She's in the dream of Weiss, because Weiss got taken over by the nightmare. I freaking forgot about that. Okay. So shit's gonna get weird. The gate. It's not snow, RWBY, it's cocaine. Don't sniff it. Oh no, it's Bushido's! I mean, White Fang. Okay, I was gonna say, can I find my cursor? Because this shit's a little loud for me. Let me adjust it that much. Oh, that's good enough for you guys. Anyways, what I was gonna get into earlier, or well, by earlier I mean a second ago, is the robots look a bit more intimidating than the White Fang members. Oh, derailed. Just like my love life. Sorry, that was obnoxious of me. Also, does it mean, or did he have a grim foot? Hold on, let's rewind that. Or did he have, like, just wolf feet? Yeah, I mean, I guess that could be considered, like, the foot of a dog or a wolf. Yeah, maybe. Why are you worried about the train tracks? Oh. Okay. Follow the train tracks, it'll... So you're trying to get to the center of where the nightmare or whatever is taking place? Signs. What signs? Because, yeah, they're all warped right there. I like this outfit of Ruby's, by the way. Well, oh god, don't ever go into the what are they called in Insidious, the Beyond. That movie was so good up until that point. I think your son has gone to the Beyond. What the fuck is that? Also, I just drew on myself like a disgusting Neanderthal, and I apologize for that. But yeah, that latter end of that movie just didn't do it for me. Vines. Speaking of vines, latest One Piece chapter. Whew. I'm scared of what that one guy's gonna do. I don't want to spoil anything. I think I'm a couple chapters behind, actually. Because the one I read is like he just arrived. And for those of you that are caught up on One Piece, you know who I'm talking about. For those of you that are also caught up on it, don't spoil it for me. Okay, yeah. Or don't spoil it for me. What the fuck? Don't spoil it for other people. Also, I read on... I think it was just like a comment thread or something that apparently Shion, I think the name is, they're not strictly speaking female. They're... I don't want to say androgynous. I guess androgynous is the way to go. I assumed it was a female. But yeah, given the figure, I can see it. There's another you. There's two rubies? Oh no. Actually, hold on. I need to I got distracted. I apologize. Okay. Keep setting markers. Proceed. If you get caught trespassing, reconnaissance will become difficult. Also be careful not to waste the coins. So I know this is kind of a thing, but like, how? Well, maybe the episode will answer. I was gonna wonder like how many coins was she given? Each one consumes some. Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. The show quite literally just answered it for me. If you're around, I won't be able to help you. So she has as many coins as Shion has aura. What you're seeing is how Weiss views you, which means that there's another you in her. Oh no. It's gone for the time being. If you replace one of the dream's characters, it's harder for the nightmare controlling the dream to spot you. Okay. If you were someone like me who isn't close to Weiss, you wouldn't have a character in the dream and you'd be recognized as alien. An imposter! Keep pressing on, soldier. Alright, so this is like worse than what was going on with Jean. Actually, yeah, now that we can address the elephant in the room. I was gonna say, why aren't Yang and Blake with her? So you can only use Ruby. You can only use Ruby because Weiss is closest to Ruby? I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. Jeez, I'm the one who's thinking of a teammate. Wait, what? I'm thinking about myself. Geez, I'm the one who needs to think about what being a good teammate means. Okay, so there's a logical explanation. 10-4 on that show. The Grim. Now is when Weiss needs her loyal friend. She needs your help. Help me, Ruby 1 Kenobi. Oh, that actually works. Help me, Ruby 1 Kenobi. You're my only hope. I really like the way Blake looks in this show. Like, Blake looks absurdly fucking pretty. Like, the shading of her hair is what's doing it for me. And that and the yellow eyes. I think it looks so much better than it does on the main show. Also, is it me or does the... I mean, I guess I kind of wish we'd have had a bit more of a, like, introduction of, like... What the hell? Did she just open the door and close it? Oh, and she says something too. I'm sorry, I am distracting myself with my own thoughts and I can't find my cursor. The train tracks from before. Oh, you ask the door what you want, and it gives it? Oh, okay. You just ask the door, and it says, like, okay, here you go. You just gotta pay the toll. But yeah, the city. It reminds me of... Well, it reminds me of the Industrial... Well, that's fucking creepy. The Industrial Revolution. All right, Jacques, we get it. You were proud of yourself. But it also reminds me of Minas Tirith mixed with the city in Attack on Titan because of the high walls. Retribution! Big Nicholas! There's an imposter among us. Oh, they caught you killing Ruby. You gotta jump into a vent and hope they don't call the emergency meeting button. Why is this backwards? Well, that's gonna be cumbersome because you're gonna have to factor. What the hell? Because you're gonna have to factor in your weapons backwards. Yeah, details for later. That's ominous. Oh no, bad touch. Stranger danger. This authority just like wise, Jesus. Little citizens of the Empire. The Empire of Man. You can find some 40k games. I haven't played like a 40k game in a while. Like the last one I played was what's it called? Dark Crusade or something like that. The strategy game. Actually, I need to give Space Marine a shot. That's what I say every time I spend my money. I'm like, I wasted it. That big build. Oh, yeah, I was smart to take a photo of it before it got erased. Professor, oh, she's a professor. Oh, break's over. Get information, Ruby. Oh man, the ashism undertones. I'm changing that word up to maybe dodge the algorithm. It was I, Jacques Chini! Ho ho! No, he's not. He's a douche magoo. Batman? What the hell is that? Who's the bat supposed to be? Is that like a mini Weiss? Hi hi ho ho, making justice fun, you know. Oh god, stop. Oh my god, as if I couldn't hate that douche more. I mean, I hate him in the main show, but god, here he is singing terrible song. And Ruby, what are you doing? Oh yeah, you're trying to blend in, of course. Uh-oh, you've been spotted. What the hell? Mario? You want to go to the other side of the wall? It's Mario. Happy oh my god. Alright, well, so we got some Kleins in here. I mean, it makes sense, because Klein's... In terms of an actual father figure, Klein fits the bill better. I mean, given that it's, you know, like, who do you think is the father, Jacques or Klein? It's obviously Klein, because Klein actually bothered to care about Weiss, aside from her just being, like, you know, a figure for Jacques to marry off. Which, Jacques, in the main show, yeah, he never attempted to marry her off to anyone. What the fuck? That's creepy. I'm Dopey Klein. Who are those? The sillies here to make sure they don't... The sillies, because he's dopey. They get out something really bad will happen. Would you lock up all the people on Twitter? Meow? Meow? Oh, they're cats. Oh, these guys from record. Oh, right. Right. Oh, hang on. Because she doesn't really know Jean Ren or Nora yet. Okay, show. Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. Inside is warm and safe and fun and, warm. Oh, I'm sold. You can't act like a dummy, you know? That's the Empire's #1 law. That was a law in the United States, like, holy shit, everybody would be in jail. Almost everybody. That is a... Oh no, the silhouette figures are back. Actually, one looks like Juvia from Fairy Tail, the other one, I don't know. No, it's, Lincoln, or not Lincoln Memorial, Jesus Christ. The Washington Monument. No, we don't call it the Big Nicholas, we call it the Washington Monument. I'm reminded of the ERB of William Wallace versus George Washington. Looking like a big whiter... Looking like a big... I can't speak. Looking like a big whiter dick than your monument. Jesus Christ. I couldn't do it with the accent. It was the accent that was throwing me off. Oh, it's the Weiss. And the dog... Oh, wow. Weiss looks... Actually, she looks a lot like, Prometheus. From Fairy Tail. From One Piece. What are you doing here? Actually, yeah, Weiss reminds me of Ed's death with that outfit. Report. Oh, hi, Mama Schnee. Presumably. The girl in the black garments keeps appearing again and again. Oh, yeah, so they... Okay, so they know Ruby's afoot. Or, well, the Grimm knows. Sister... Whitley. That's Whitley. Alright. Alright. I don't want my dear sister to be punished for anything. Ah, shut up, you. It's your business. She's a weird decoy. A dummy's behavior, indeed. Didn't she call Ruby a dummy like quite a number of times in the... Jesus. Yes, you are indeed big. Even I know that's Jacques, not Nicholas. Shut up, Willie. Are you not the proper daughter of the Shinee family, Weiss? Show me a little bit of, I don't know if I've mentioned it in my reactions to Ruby, but the Weiss and Jock thing reminds me of Lucy Artfilia from Fairy Tail and her relationship with her father. Even though her father turned out to eventually become a decent guy, whereas, you know, Jock just didn't. He couldn't admit his own faults. That's what I like about Jude Artfilia, is that he realized he was screwing up. I don't know, did Weiss have... I guess she did overcompensate quite a bit for her. Yeah, for those of you that watch Black Clover, I guess Weiss also has a bit in common with Noelle, to an extent. I mean, hair aside. But Noelle was incredibly insecure about herself despite coming from a prestigious background. And I think Weiss was overcompensating for her insecurity as opposed to Noelle, who kind of projected her insecurities. Then a guy mad at me and said I could have drowned. There was somebody trying to drown you as it flows. There's a lot of weird ones too. Dreams, especially when you have lucid dreams like that. That fucks with me. I suppose it makes sense that the coins have a time limit on them. Because, you know, when you use a coin in a phone booth. Oh, Ruby, what's your bounty? That's the girl. Listen, you fucking snitches. Get the fuck out of here. Oh shit, it's Grumpy Klein. Uh-oh, the queen approaches. I don't think the music was necessary, but okay. Wait. What the? Hold on. Okay. What I thought happened was that she took the shades off, folded them, and then tossed them, and then the dog ate them, or the robo-dog ate them. I was like, why would you waste your sunglasses like that? Yeah, peasant. An embarrassment to whom? I guess herself. In the eyes of Weiss. You're embarrassed to be around me. Yeah, peasant. Wait, why is Winter a buck? The powerless return to dust. The wicked will wander the void. The void. Well, you can't be a traitor if you weren't loyal to begin with. No, Ruby. It's the dream influencing. And then I'll never talk to you again. Is that kind of the I'd rather you hate me and be alive than love me and be dead? I'm trying to figure out who's singing, because it sounds English, but it doesn't sound like Casey Williams. That's her name, right, Casey? I know her last name's Williams. I know her dad's name, Jeff Williams. I think it's Casey. You got two. Oh, you just wasted your last 2 coins. Decoy in a door. Okay. I don't care anymore. Aha! But I have escaped through the vent. No, she wasn't. I think it's the Grim influencing the thing you... Oh, she got one left. Yeah, I think you're gonna need backup for this one. Nope. Wow. Ruby. Ruby dooby doo. Okay. That was. Let's say it was bad. I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't bad. I didn't dislike it, but I don't know. Maybe it's doing a slow build to something bigger. I don't know. I don't like the parts that I don't like. I'll get that out the way, and then I'll get into the parts that I do like. Because there was quite a bit I did like. The parts that I didn't like is again the pacing and the just jumping into it, like jumping right into it. Like that's nice and all, but the build up makes the and I know this was build up. Don't get me wrong. I know this is build up, but I would have liked to have seen Weiss be encapsulated by this Grim or whatever. Ruby find her, panic, freak out, to emphasize that Ruby cares about her. And we did get that here. That's true. Um, but also have Shion re-enter the scene, Ozpin into the scene, and have them maybe add in some tension to where Ruby thinks like, oh, it's just gonna be like how Pyrrha and Ren and Nora got Jean out of there, and then Shion could be like, no, this is much worse. That establishes tension, which they retroactively did because Shion did say that the tension that what's going on with Weiss is a lot more intrusive to Weiss's person or self or whatever than it was with Jean. With Jean, it was just his basic insecurity of not being good enough. With Weiss, there's a lot to unpack there. So I just feel like the I guess a more linear path of explaining it, building the tension would have worked better for me. Um, the use of the shaping the world around Weiss and everything like that. It is called Ice Queendom, so it's naturally going to shape around Weiss. I really liked that because this explored Weiss's character in a way that the main show never touched upon. That is one thing I will 100% give this episode, that the entire show, all 100 plus episodes of the RWBY volumes, they explored Weiss's character really well here. But I guess I don't know, maybe my I don't want to say, what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Because I'm trying to think of the word to come up with. I think it's like I wanted more of this from the main show, and I'm thinking of the main show of like, oh, I could have been like this, and then I'm letting that sort of negative outlook kind of influence my opinion about this show to a degree, because I'm like, this could have been the mainstay of RWBY, but it is what it is. And I'm not trying to throw shade at Miles and Carrie, but I'm not of an unpopular opinion when I say that the character development in the show has not been great. It's got characters that are really good, and they fall off the rails. They pick themselves back up. There's other characters that start off really bad and progressively get worse. Cinder, aside from Volume A, in which it's like, well, it's 8 volumes in. We are assumably more than halfway through the main show. But what I really like here is that it established that Weiss has a closer bond to Ruby than she does with Yang and Blake, which makes sense because Weiss and Ruby have a very, very interesting dynamic. And that's the one thing, or that is something that the main show, the volume show, I guess for future reference, when I say the volume show, I'm talking about the main one, the 3D one. They did build a bit more off of Weiss and Ruby, at least consistently throughout the show. Um, no, actually, I can't even say that technically, because the Yang and Blake thing, like a lot of it has just been kind of the whole ship war thing between Black Sun and Bumblebee, which if you ship whoever the fuck you want with whoever you want, I don't give a fuck. Um, but what I don't like is how the show has played both sides of that argument. like if the entire idea was for Yang and Blake to end up as a legitimate like romantic couple where they aren't like sisters in battle or battle sisters, I guess, better way to put it. Like if they're not battle sisters, if they're not just sisters but not related by blood, if they're battle buddies or whatever. If that was not the intent, but the intent was in fact to make them a romantic couple in which they want to spend their lives together, they have found a kindred soul in each other, then commit to it. But there's no commitment to it that I've seen. What I've seen from the main show is that Yang and Blake they've bonded closely together, but their dynamic to me strikes me as more platonic than anything. Um, and I know I'm kind of rambling at this point, but it's just I'm trying to think of like how like what is this building to? And I know it's centered around Weiss. It's called Ice Queendom. Weiss is obviously the centerpiece. Ruby's the main character of the show. RWBY. This is a not a spinoff, but a alternate universe of the story of RWBY, where we covered all of Volume 1. Now we're branching off, but I think there's going to be elements of Volume 2 that show up because we had everything that with Roman happen. We had Cinder present. We had the White Fang present, so obviously they're going to factor in. I mean, of course they're going to factor in because Blake's in the dang story. Yeah, I think I'm just going to need a moment to process it. Like, I don't want to sound like I dislike this episode. It's just I could kind of sleep on it. I feel like, even though there's a lot of positive, I pointed out. Oh, right, I never covered the positive, didn't I? Well, I kind of did, but I also rambled, which I do a lot. I mean, if you've been watching my reactions when I started, or even when I did the RWBY ones, I do tend to ramble. But I will once again say I don't think this is bad by any stretch of the imagination. They're just to me wasn't a whole lot for me to digest and process, and I got easily distracted, which I sometimes do get easily distracted, even in spite of my rambles. But typically, when a show has grabbed my attention, I tend to pay attention. Whereas with here, I felt like I easily distracted myself, so it wasn't reeling me in. But I don't. I mean, that's why I rewinded as much as I did because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. That way, I'm not giving a false, equivalence. I'm not giving an opinion that has no merit or anything like that. And I want to make it clear. If you enjoy this episode, hey, I get why. But for me, I think I just need a little bit more from the show. I think that's what I need. I need to see where this builds up to, and I don't know when the next episode releases. Because they released the first three, right off the gate, and then they waited about 2.5-ish weeks before this one came out. And then I don't know when. I don't know if they're doing a weekly release, which I actually, yeah. Deductive Reasoning says they're going to do a weekly release, so I don't know. I'll see what happens with episode 5, and then I'll have a more concrete opinion. But again, that is to say, I can't judge an entire season of a show based on one episode. Just like I can't praise it to the moon because one episode was really good, even though the other 11, for lack of a better term, was bad. It's like if you watch WWE, it's like you could say that like a match in a pay-per-view was really good, but the rest of the card was crap. That's to say the match was good, but the card itself was not good. So this was, I would argue, better than episode 3, but not as good as episodes 2 or 1 for me. But again, my opinion might change because reaction video is like the immediate thought, the immediate stuff. I'm going to interact with people. I'm going to talk to them about it. Maybe something will change my mind because I got my mind changed for the worst in terms of my view of Volume 8 because I've come to actually dislike Volume 8 quite immensely now. Even though there are good parts to it, there are some amazing moments to it, like the Watts rant, Oscar, the Hazel v. Salem bit, the Yang confronting Salem. There's a lot of good to pick apart over there, but overall the volume it's just not standing up. It's not standing up. But also I've been watching a lot of other anime or anime styled shows, and they've been doing really well for me. Whereas the more that these shows stack up and become like bigger positives on my list, RWBY's just kind of slowly falling down. And the same thing happened to Fairy Tail. But again, It's just my opinion. Don't let what I say take away your enjoyment of the show. If you think that Ice Queendom is like flawless, amazing, you would change nothing about it. Hey, more power to you. If you think it's the absolute worst thing you've ever seen, more power to you. But for me, episodes 1 and 2 were really good. 3 had some pacing issues. This one, I think that's the good way to summarize it. 3 was too fucking fast. This one was just a little too slow. But I understand that it is building towards something. So, it's not like I'm trying to understand the episode and I'm trying to understand the pacing. Um, it's just not a lot happened, but I think I want to wait until episode 5 or 6 or even 7 comes out before I give like a full concrete opinion. And I'll probably do like a summary video, or not a summary video, a summary of what I thought of the season overall with episode 12. So by episode 12, my opinion of this episode will probably have changed. More than likely, it will have changed into the more positive side of things because I understand it's episode 4. It's still the beginning of the season. We still have a lot to build for. It's not like I'm expecting some big epic clash of ideas and battles and Roman and Cinder rolling in with the White Fang and the Huntsmen gathering together and like an Avengers Assemble type thing. No, I'm not expecting that. The pacing with the show is just kind of leaving a little bit to be desired for me, but that's just me. That's all it is. It's just me. Um, so I'm definitely looking forward to episode 5. I'm going to 100% watch it, and then I'll contemplate uploading this reaction or not because I don't know if I necessarily got enough out of this episode to merit uploading a reaction, but I'll rewatch it. I'll skim through it, see if there's anything that convinces me to upload it. Otherwise, I'll just put like a episode 4 summary, and then I'll react to episode 5. And then if episode 5 just doesn't do it for me in terms of my confidence in uploading a reaction video, then I'll just upload commentary videos or something. Actually, in that case, I would just upload an entire commentary on the whole season as opposed to each individual episode. So that'd be easier for me. But anyway, folks, I've rambled on for almost an hour. Holy shit! Well, a little over half an hour, but yeah. Anyway, folks, you all have a good one. I will see you all when I see you all. Bye!